What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to KangBrosTV. Liverpool cop another L. Chelsea beat Liverpool at Anfield, and it was a deserved win for Chelsea. In my perspective, I thought Chelsea popped the ball a lot better than Liverpool did. They had a game plan. They actually had a plan. I think what Liverpool, we were looking at each other thinking, what is this? What is the plan? What are we doing right now? When we get the ball, it just never looked like we were going to do anything, and we didn't. So for all these people that make excuses about the players that are missing and all this kind of stuff, right? So going forward, I just don't get what's happening right now. It's nothing. We had I think we had one shot on target.
I don't even think we had.
I can't remember one shot on target.
Don't get me wrong. Statistics don't always paint the. There were chances when that ball's gone across and all that sort of stuff. I get all that, but I think, like you said, the one thing that you just have to give big props to is Chelsea played some very, very good football. I don't care if you want to say it's negative or defensive and whatever, but the way they popped the ball and the confidence and the bravery that they had, yes, it can all fall like a pack of cards. There'll be a time when someone makes a mistake and they'll get punished and it will knock on confidence. I get all that, I understand that. But for now, for what he's come in, and all those fat Chelsea fans that were like, Frank, what, Frank? Because this is the guy, that's what you need. Someone who's got experience of managing at big clubs knows what it's like to go and get results. All things considered, I don't care what people want to say. Chelsea were better than us. Chelsea were better than Liverpool today, and they had the better chances. I didn't think the offside was offside. I thought it was a goal. I thought they had the better chances. They had a better game plan. Yes, it was a case of sitting in and hitting us on the counter, but the way that they popped it and played out from the back, and Liverpool couldn't get near the ball. It was like men versus boys at times when they just couldn't get the ball off them, and then pop and they're in. They got a plan, they had a strategy, and they executed it. They got their 1-0 and they won. Now for Liverpool, I'm so glad to see Jota in because he looked electric when he come on today. I thought he looked good. Fabinho looked like he was rushed back to me. Looked like he was rushed back. And I just want to know, was he injured? But why is Nat Phillips not playing? Why did he not start today?
I don't know. For me, if he went with Fabinho and Kabak or Fabinho and Nat, I don't think we would have. A lot of people wouldn't have been surprised because we knew this Chelsea game. But personally, I know what he's saying. For me, is if they've got a clean sheet, and he's actually done nothing wrong. To be fair,
he's done nothing wrong. He was actually better than Kabak in the last game. So for me, like I said, all I'm saying is,
unless we don't know something, he was injured. Maybe
I don't know. Yeah, possibly whatever. But I just think it was a chance to maybe get him back into midfield. I've said it so many times before. Yeah, and I know people are saying to me that I get on him too much. But Curtis Jones is a young lad. Yeah, last game he played well against Sheffield United. He done well. But I always find myself, and we always realise that there's a correlation. When he has a decent or half-decent performance, the game after, he's fucking shit. And today, he's rubbish. He was taking too many touches again, and I almost think it's that young man in him saying okay, well, people are giving me hype now, I've got praise, and I've got to do something different. Nah, mate, do what got you to where you is. And that was doing things, trying to do things quicker and all that sort of stuff. So we were much better in the second half. Much better in the second half. Didn't lay a glove first half. For me, I don't really think. But that chance that Mane had, the cross that comes in, I am absolutely flabbergasted as to what he has done there. I'm shocked. The air shot. It's what?
And when you see the replay, you just look up in the air trying to find the ball. He don't have a Scooby voice. But the thing is, you talk about Curtis Jones, and I agree with you. I think it wasn't just him though. I think just collectively, we always talk about this. Yes, we understand if we've got injuries, but you've got to do the fundamentals correctly. And sometimes Liverpool do it, and sometimes they don't. Today, it was slow. Sometimes you see Thiago pick up the ball, pop it off, and then suddenly everything's just dead again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I just don't think Liverpool are doing those things right.
It's the sheer lack of quality. Just when the goal, if you look at where it comes from, what are you doing? They gave the ball away under no pressure. Under no pressure, Chelsea are literally praying for that. Those make it nice, not high and wide. As soon as you get it, transition, right? And then going to the goal. Now, for me, from a defender's perspective, as a defender myself, looking at that, I'm thinking to myself, and I was screaming to you, didn't I? I said, don't let him come on his right. Don't let him come back onto his right. Don't let him come back to his right. Boom, goal, right? Not just Fabinho. I'm looking at Trent. Trent and Fabinho, between them there, they've got to sort that. They've got to sort that. I'm sorry.
It was far too easy, and he's right. He was literally screaming at the screen before it even happened and unveiled. And that's the thing is, I don't want to go on Fabinho's back, but it's too easy. And it looked like you said, he was rushed back. There was times the balls were going over the top. He was leggy, right? He was a couple of yards off. You could tell, and it just felt like he was rushed back. So I don't know. But you said the goal's far too easy. You can't just let him show him for the inside. And
What a finish! What a finish!
And he just shift the ball quickly.
As an England fan, I'm buzzing. I'm thinking to myself, yes, like Mounty, these, like, do you know what I mean? From an England perspective, very happy. But from a Liverpool perspective, that's shoddy. That's shoddy defending. To give the ball away, lack of quality, just careless. You can't. The thing is, Trent's done really well to get back in, but that's not his fault because he's asked to go high and wide for a start. I'm all about the initial transition. He's done so well to get back in, but once you get back in, communicate. Tell him, right? You got to be shouting at Fabinho. Show him outside. Show him outside. Show him outside. Not once have you seen. I can't hear it, but from what I'm seeing in the replays, not once have you seen him shouting, taking charge, saying, "Show him this way. Show him this way." Not even. Not even. Shows him inside. What a finish. 1-0. And as for Chelsea's tactics, happy fucking days. Because now we ain't got to go chase the game. Now they've got to come and try and press us. That suits us down to the ground.
And you said as well, when Chelsea were defending as well, they defended very well. It wasn't like you said they were defending their areas really well. It seemed like they were well drilled in what they were doing.
And that's what we talked about. We talked about it in the game. Is they weren't going man for man. They were defending in spaces, and this is our areas, and they were doing it as a collective. Everything they did it as a unit. Like we're not going to go flying out, and we're going to like flood areas, and make them do something brilliant. I said this to you from the get go. I felt Rudiger can be got. Rudiger, there's a mistake in Rudiger. And every time that he was on it, there was always something. He would always give you a slight sniff. But we just lack quality. The quality that for Liverpool today was just non-existent.
And the other thing that I think the major talking point for me is like, what's happening at the club right now is Klopp's brain a bit frazzled right now because some of his decision making on the sub. I've always questioned it even before, but right now, like you want to get a goal and you take off the top goal scorer for Liverpool.
Granted, he was shit.
Yes, and so was Mane, and
Firmino.
And Bobby's touches were poor. So for me, when we saw the sub, even before they were made, we were like, okay, so let's get Naby on, and we said let's get Curtis off. We said let's get Bobby off. Everyone's seen enough of Bobby now to see how many chances he's missed and all this kind of stuff. Let's give Jota a go. Jota comes in, influencing the game straight away. Everyone's liking what he's seen. You see Ox, he did fuck all. Absolutely fuck all, and I didn't expect anything more from him, to be honest. And I was surprised that we didn't see Naby even after we did put him on the other game. And I know that we got a game to think about on Sunday, but like she said before, it doesn't get any worse than this. And then I don't know. Do you agree with that decision? Like Milner was okay when he came on. Don't get me wrong.
I get that. Milner was okay when he came on, but why now him? Yeah, I know you give him praise about how consistent he is. He's cooked. He's opposite. He looks mentally cooked for me. He looks like his decision making looks mentally cooked to me. Physically, he seems like one of the fittest people I think I've ever come across, like as in football. But he looks mentally frazzled. The way he does things, I'm just like, he looks like a weary soul. Rest the geezer. I don't mind if Milner comes on, but I'm talking about, look at the subs you've made. You take Salah off to replace him with Oxlade-Chamberlain. Curtis Jones off to replace him with Jota. And you've got Milner for Thiago. Now, Thiago, I know people can say what they want. Only person that shows any quality for me is Thiago. I know, and then I'm looking at the goals we're going to get goals from. So for me, I was thinking if you're going to bring Jota on and you're going to take off midfielder Curtis, for me, I would have gone, right, drop Bobby into the 10, go him up front and keep them up. So you've got 4 options of scoring a goal. That's what I was thinking is going to happen. Yes, granted, Mane and Salah and Firmino were miles off it today. There's one chance when Salah's got a ball, they've nicked the ball, Salah's got the ball and he plays it into an area and it just dribbles into the keeper. And it's so discombobulated up front. There's no syncing between them. There's no fluidity that we've been so used to seeing. So, yeah, I mean, the decision making for the subs, Oxlade-Chamberlain, listen, I actually like Ox. I do like Ox. And I think it's a good impact substitute. But from what I'm seeing, and I've said this for a long time as well. And I know I feel like I'm negative, but I've said this for a long, long time. He's done. His impact and that stuff is gone. There's a new wave of players now, and he's got to be the wave to go. Shaqiri, obviously, Klopp's not having him for some reason, so just let him go. Origi, go. Ox, go. Do you know what I mean? There needs to be a bit of transition now, because it needs freshening up and ideas. Because at the moment, it's too same, too comfortable for some people that are in that squad, and they're like, yeah, but you owe us because we've won all this sort of stuff. You got to strike when the iron's hot. At the moment, it's gone real cold, and we look dead.
I think that is it in a nutshell, right? We look dead at the moment. And the thing is, I think all of us fans, like we said, there's no surprise here. There's no shock of the result because We know what we're working with, so the expectation has dropped immensely. And I would say, and even for us, as we've said, we don't expect Liverpool to go and win the games, and we don't expect Liverpool to finish in the top 4. If they do, it would be an added bonus. But all we want to see is some fluidity and the Liverpool doing the fundamentals correctly. And today, as I said, they're both better in the second half, but there's still the things there. Just like when we said talk about it, the chemistry going forward.
And even then, you're saying they're better in the second half. But if I'm Chelsea, I'm saying
we didn't get out first gear. If you were Chelsea,
if I'm Chelsea, I'm thinking, well, we got our goal.
Yeah.
You lot ain't scored a goal at home for time. Yeah, for actually time, and I think it was a penalty. They won a game. Liverpool won a game at home in 2021, as far as I'm concerned. Since I can remember, they've not won a game at home this year. I don't think in the league. So if that's the case, if you get the goal, so what? Yes, they're gonna have possession of the ball, but it doesn't matter. Have possession. You ain't gonna score. So as far as I'm concerned, I said it myself that Liverpool were better in the second half because they asked more questions, but it doesn't matter. Chelsea had the goal, and they were like, yeah.
It's all good having possession on that. You don't do anything with it. And what the record that you said there is that Liverpool have lost 5 games in a row now at home. And I don't really care about records. What I'm trying to say is that if you look back at all the bogus teams we've had, over the years we've watched Liverpool, right? We used to laugh at them. You see like memes and screenshots of all these teams, and even they didn't lose 5 on the trot at home. Do you know what I mean? So you can make all these reasons for all these injuries and that. And what I'm saying, this team, compared to some of the dog shit teams we had back in the day, they still didn't do that. So, as I said, if you can't win a game, at least draw it. But we don't look like scoring at the moment at all. With Jota back now, I'm a bit hopeful, as you said, going forward in the next few games. Fingers crossed. But now, as we said, we need to start using these defenders and just, even Fabinho, get him up the pitch, get Henderson when he's back.
We said this a few weeks ago.
It just doesn't get any worse.
It doesn't get any worse than this. People are like, oh, we're still top. We're not top anymore. Oh, we're still in the top 4. We're nowhere near the top 4 anymore. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, at least we're not 10th. We will be 10th.
We're 7th now. Right?
We're 7th,
so, yeah.
and everyone's got games in hand around us. We will be 10th. So let's just let that sink in. So everyone that said that, oh yeah, wanted to cuss it and pave over cracks whenever they want. Get real. Let's just get real now. Yeah. Let's let the reality sink in as to what we are at the moment. We are on par with Arsenal at the moment, yeah, and everyone knows what Arsenal is. I don't care, but I know Arsenal fans love to get at me. I don't care. You lot are where you are, and we are joining. Do you know what I mean? That's what we are at the moment. That's what we're going to. I know things may change with injuries, and I get all that, but that's where we are at the moment. You can only live in the now. You can only talk about what you're seeing else in front of you. Don't talk to me about past. Don't talk about future. Where we is right now, we are fighting around with them, man.
And finally, do you want to give anyone a man of the match for Liverpool? I mean, because like you said, it wasn't like one of these performances where it was so bad. Like I said, there was some things in there you think, okay, it's not bad. So, in terms of Liverpool as a team, who would say was the best player?
You go first, bro, because I'm a loose end at the minute.
Struggling on that. I'll give it to Thiago. I think from the only person that showed a little bit of quality, but like we say, he can pass the ball and looks quality, but he was doing for me some of the right things. Apart from that, I can't really see.
I think. I mean,
and that's me begging it.
Yeah,
So.
and that's just taking the words out of my mouth. I'm begging it now, but the only person I'll give it to, because I think his just tireless efforts and work rate and everything, is Robertson. I think it's just the fact that he literally goes about his business. I don't think he was very good today, but like I said, for me, he's just someone that's just tireless in what he does, and you can just see it means something to him. So, to that perspective, from that reason, that's who I'll give it to. But Chelsea deserve to win this today. I would love to hear what people's thoughts are on substitutions, starting 11, centre backs performance. Let us know, because I want to hear it. So
until the next one, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and definitely comment.